I think I probably felt like many people would feel when I read it, which was that it seems quite offensive, doesn't seem the right thing to do. On the other hand, I wasn't entirely surprised, just because I know that this does happen and we don't have all that much protection against it.
And we'll get into in a moment about these particular glasses and the advances in technology. But first, Dr. Barton, can you give me a sense of what is the legal framework right now when it comes to this sort of recording?
So first thing is that lots of people do think we have a right to privacy in Australia, but actually we don't have a general broad right to privacy. We have a patchwork of laws that do protect aspects of our privacy. So we have, in each state, there are surveillance devices laws, which are laws that provide for criminal offences where people are recording private conversations or activities, but they hinge on the activity and conversation being private. We also have information privacy laws in Australia, but for the most part, they don't yet apply to individuals. We have a range of other laws that protect aspects of our privacy.
Is that a problem, that there doesn't appear to be really clear laws that are the same right across the nation?
So the surveillance devices laws, yes, I would say that is an issue because there is inconsistency across the states. I think the bigger issue, though, is that the surveillance devices laws and so neither those laws nor the Privacy Act as it stands would apply to a situation like this. However, the Privacy Act has recently been amended, and come June we will get a new law that will give a bit more protection for individuals, but it's arguable as to whether that would extend to this situation.
So it sounds like there's still quite a bit of work that needs to be done on this suite of particular laws.
I think the question in some ways is we don't know yet how the new law will be interpreted. So come June, we will have a law that allows people to sue where there's been a misuse of information in a situation where they should expect privacy. The question is, how will that be interpreted by the courts? Would it apply to a situation such as the one that's occurred here? So we don't know. It might do. But even then, of course, if people have to have recourse to the law and sue another person, that's not necessarily an easy thing to do. And of course, it's not always the answer.
And this comes as we're seeing a huge increase in these smart glasses, if you will, that have built into them cameras to take photos for video and for audio. And it seems that this technology is advancing at, clearly a much more rapid pace than what we're seeing the laws keep up, and particularly around those protections. What's your observation of what we're seeing on that front?
I mean, I think that's always been the case, that the law doesn't keep a pace with technological developments, which is why when we have these new laws, they do tend to be technology neutral. But yeah, the technology is developing apace. We see the same in the field of AI, of course. It's very difficult for the law to keep a step ahead.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about AI and whether there are synergies, because of course some of these glasses in fact use AI, so there is a huge overlap there, isn't there?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and again, we're still, the laws on AI are sort of very much, well, not there yet really. So it's always been the case that technology is a few steps ahead of the law. I will say, though, that there's only, of course, there's only so much that we can do in terms of laws, because you can't regulate for everybody misbehaving all the time. Clearly, people do the wrong thing. And what complicates it in a situation such as this is that the person who's done the wrong thing is, I believe, has left the country, which makes it so much more difficult to enforce things. I do think, though, that the social media companies need to take more responsibility, and they really need to step up and start actually monitoring and taking down content where they know that it's been obtained without consent.
That's a good point. Senior Law Lecturer at Curtin University, Dr. Anna Bunn, thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.